All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all those who are watching this with us and watching it after it's recorded. This is very bittersweet because this is our last webinar that we have for you guys this session. It's been very eye-opening with some of the information we've been getting and very diverse with some of the different types of webinars we've had. So I encourage everyone to go back and to watch and take anything that you may need from it. There's a lot of important information on it. And without further ado, for our last session, we have a mindfulness and somatic breath work with Miss Diane Obachakra. And she's going to be giving a presentation on it that may help for some stressful situations or just understanding how breath work works. So I'm Trey Tucker, by the way. I didn't introduce myself, but I will be passing it along to Miss Diana.
Hey y'all. So today, in the world, I think the CDC has called stress one of the leading epidemic in 2023, and it's really a silent epidemic. And just to read off some facts, over 76% of adults report stress-related health issues, according to the American Psychological Association. Common symptoms of stress-related health issues can be fatigue, anxiety, insomnia. It could even be linked to heart disease, diabetes, and depression, even autoimmune disorders and digestive disorders or conditions. And so it really goes to show how stress has become a big issue in our lives and from our day to day. And so really what this workshop is geared to kind of bring awareness or this kind of information to light is that there are a lot of tools that we can equip ourselves in order to manage the stress, in order to allow for our bodies to feel safe and to self-soothe and to self-regulate. And so, why is breath work so important? So, I'm sure everybody has heard of yoga. And so, yoga is usually thought of as the positions or asanas that we see, movements, but really there are eight limbs to yoga. And one of them, a really important one, is breath work. And this kind of practice, yoga, has been studied for over 5,000 years. And so, the yogis really have nailed how to calm the body, how to create that inner peace no matter what happens on the outside. And so, breath work and yoga, they are ancient practices backed by science. They help regulate the nervous system, improve resilience, emotional balance, self-awareness, and they're not just calming, they actually rewire how we respond to life. And so, a big thing about breath work is that it helps when our body is in the sympathetic nervous system. It's usually when we have a reaction that's fight or flight. And so, what the breath work really does is it activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest and at times heal. And it really helps us shift into this more calming state, into this gentle it helps our ability helps gain the ability to self-soothe and self-regulate. And so I want to talk a little bit about somatic. And so somatic means related to the body. So for example, if you have mental stress, it can cause somatic symptoms in the body, such as headaches or fatigue. And so in this kind of subject we're talking about somatic breath work and movement as well. And so there's a big link between the breath work, which is called pranayama and yoga, and somatic breath work and movement, which is more, they've come from different paradigms, but they essentially are geared to create that self-soothing and self-regulating through breathing exercises. And so somatic breath work brings body awareness and essentially the same things that yoga does in the breath work that we can practice in yoga. And so I like this quote, breathing is the remote control of the mind, which, like you can shut it off, change the channel. It really, with practice, I don't want anyone to feel that they can never achieve a calm mind because our mind can be our greatest enemy, but also if we use the tools that are, in many resources that are available to us, we can actually make it our greatest ally. And so I want to talk a little bit about yoga and the brain. So yoga increases the brain's GABA levels, which are gamma aminobutyric acid. So GABA is a calming chemical in the brain that reduces anxiety and helps us feel more relaxed. It also activates the prefrontal cortex, which helps with attention, decision making, and staying calm under pressure. And there have been many studies linking how just 20 minutes a day of meditation, which is breath work and just calming the mind, activating that parasympathetic nervous system, increases that gray matter in the prefrontal cortex. It's really, really interesting. And there's a lot of science behind it. And so, according to the trauma, I'm just going to read a quick quote. According to the trauma researcher Bessel van der Kolk, yoga has shown greater long-term improvements in PTSD symptoms than some standard treatments, including certain medications, due to its focus on body awareness and nervous system regulation. And deep, slow breathing can reduce cortisol levels by up to 50%. And cortisol levels are those stress-inducing chemicals in our body. So just more evidence-based. I feel like a lot of people think that yoga or meditation or breathing is a little like out there. What's that going to do to me? But there have been a lot of research and a lot of evidence showing that when we're stressed, although let's say our mind has processed it, it could be stored in our body and in certain parts of our body. And so with breath work and yoga and somatic movements, we really give the opportunity for the stored stress or stored trauma to exit the body. And and in order to do that, I've been practicing letting go. And for a long time, I thought I knew what letting go was, but it really is to sit with the feelings that might come up. And it's okay to not feel okay. And so that's what really breath work and yoga and all these kinds of practices help us, release in our bodies and really creates that self-soothing resilience that I think a lot of us need these days. So I just want to read real quick the evidence-based, some evidence-based facts. A 12-week yoga program increased GABA levels by 27% in participants with mood disorders. Just 6 breaths per minute can increase heart rate variability, which supports emotional regulation. So the higher the heart rate variability, the better. One study showed yoga-based practices had a 43% reduction in PTSD symptoms. And somatic intervention, oops, I can't read that one because of the, give me one second. Think, can't see my mouse. Sorry. Somatic intervention has, well, I guess y'all can read that on your own. Can't read the text too much because the little pop-ups video is there. But you get the message. Breathwork is really important and valuable, and can if we learn to equip the tools, we really can help ourselves feel better. And just a little bit about the vagus nerve. I'm sure y'all have heard of it. So it's the long nerve that connects the brain to major organs, and it helps control our calm and relaxation responses. And so breathwork stimulates the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve is a part of that parasympathetic nervous system, and it's essential for regulating rest, digestion, and emotional balance. And so you can see some of these benefits of yoga and meditation and breath work. They all kind of go in the same kind of line of practice. And I just wanted to include that you can't always control what happens to you, but you can control how you breathe through it, and that changes everything. And thank you. We're gonna do some breathwork exercises now, but this is some kind of evidence-based facts with some science, because I know when I was first getting into yoga, it was kind of hard to believe all these things. Like, is it really helpful? So I hope that y'all have been convinced. And here's some references if y'all want to do your own research on that. There we go. So I'll stop sharing my screen. So now I'd like to focus on some breath work. It's not going to take too long, but I think it'll be really helpful in kind of building those tools, and not just intellectually knowing how yoga and breath work helps, but experiencing it. And so um, throughout breath work, these breath work practices, try to sit in a comfortable position. Try to keep yourself in a space that's low noise. Maybe you might be awkward doing it in front of people, or maybe you don't care, but let try to really focus inwards and not allow the outside, what's happening on the outside affect, so that we can really allow what our body needs to purge. And you might not experience any type of feeling the first couple times you do it, but through consistent practice, even just 20 minutes, 10 minutes, even 5 minutes a day, you will see an improvement if you stick to it. Just like going to the gym, one day you may feel really bad, and then if you keep going and it's consistent for 3 weeks, you feel really good. So some people might feel like really bad, like it's the first time they might really look inwards or start to focus on the breath. And I want to just encourage y'all to just stick through it. It is really worth it. The evidence speaks for itself. So let's begin. All right. So just a little bit about this first breath work we're going to do. Dr. Peter A. Levine, he's a renowned psychologist and trauma therapist. And he really thinks about our body as a container. And so that in his research has helped people like understand how to deal with their emotions, especially if they're overwhelming. And so he uses this technique in his somatic therapy for his clients to reduce that kind of dissociation or panic. And so I'd like y'all to sit in a comfortable position. You can turn off your videos if that makes you feel more comfortable, like no one is watching you. You can take off your glasses and you can sit in a comfortable position. And so what we can do is, I'm going to take off my glasses too. We're going to raise our left arm. Take a deep breath, and then place our hand right under our left armpit. And it's important to be on the left side. I don't know exactly the research, but Peter Levine is his name if y'all want to research it more. So you're gonna place your right arm under your left armpit and kind of hug yourself. You can squeeze your right shoulder. And so what I want y'all to do right now is just close your eyes and take a deep breath. And I encourage y'all to release any tension in your stomach and in your entire body. And just breathe. And you can release. This technique can be done it's more significant when done for 5 to 10 minutes. Just hugging yourself, keeping that right hand under your left armpit activates something in the parasympathetic nervous system. And so for our next practice, I'd like y'all to just sit again in a comfortable position, and you can close your eyes if you feel safe to, and just acknowledge how the breath is coming into the body with non-judgment, just acknowledging very gently, how are we inhaling in this moment? If it's short, if it's fluttering, long, just observing and bringing awareness and observing what temperature the breath is as it enters your body and as it leaves the body. And then with your next breath, straighten your spine in a comfortable way. And the reason why it's so important for the spine to stay straight, it's like as if you're drinking from a straw. If you're bending the straw and it's not one of those bendable ones, it's the straight ones, it's hard for that liquid to come up. And so the same thing with the breath, when the spine is straight, it's so easy for the breath to enter the body. You breathe with ease. And so the main goal is to intake as much breath as possible. So with the next breath, breathe fully into your stomach and exhale through your nose and inhale through your nose. Feel the expansion in your stomach and exhale through your nose at your own pace. I'd like you to take one of your hands and place it over your stomach, and then another hand and place it over your heart. And so just settle in this position. Close your eyes if you feel safe to. And if not, you can gently keep your eyelids open, keeping your gaze directly under your nose. And with your next inhale, breathe into your belly and feel the expansion. And exhale through your nose. And breathe into your belly through your nose. And bring it up to your chest. Feel the movement with your hand. And then exhale from your chest and then from your belly, emptying the breath as much as you can. Feeling your belly go back into your spine as you exhale. As you inhale, bring that full breath into your stomach. Feel your hand move and pull it up to your chest. And then exhale, releasing from the chest into the belly. And then you can place your hands gently on your knees with your palms facing the sky or whatever position is comfortable to you. And just feel how that felt in your body. And breathe normally, sit normally. And if you felt uncomfortable, that's totally fine. That's probably means that there's some emotions that are feeling stuck, or maybe you need to do a little bit of exercise or some actual asana yoga to release that energy. And then you can come back to this breath work. So for the next breath work, we're going to use humming. And humming creates gentle vibrations in the throat, chest, and the face. And that stimulates, again, the vagus nerve. Um, and this nerve, again, is responsible for calming the body. And so I want us to start by simply breathing in through our nose. And you can keep your eyelids closed for this as well. And exhaling with the sound shh. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling shh. And you can repeat that as much times as possible. And we're gonna do a humming, which is mm. So deep inhale from the nose and exhale from the nose, but hum. Mm. Inhale from the nose, exhale. Mm. Inhale from the nose and exhale. Mm. Take a deep breath and just bring your awareness to your face and your chest and your throat and see how that felt, how those vibrations felt in activating that parasympathetic nervous system. And you can repeat this so many times. You can repeat it 21 times. You can even say the word um, and om. So let's try that. So deep inhale from the nose. Om. And that you can repeat as well so many times, 21, 50, 100, whatever, even just two, three. Um, it really does help calm that body, calm whatever might be tense your muscles, any tension in your muscles. Um, and again, the breath work is meant to be soothing. And if you feel like it isn't, maybe take a break, try something else, and allow yourself to really feel as you breathe. You might get some feelings that don't make sense, like, why am I feeling this? I had a great day. If anything, it really does help build that resilience over time, releasing that stored tension that could be from last week. And yeah, any questions? That's all I have for today.
Yeah, so thank you first of all. I think a lot of times when people think about yoga, me in particular, I didn't know that there were 8 different limbs to
Mhm.
yoga. You only just know yoga itself, and um knowing how important breath work is, I guess my question to you, and then I have kind of like a statement after that, is what are
Mhm.
the 8 limbs of yoga? Like, what are the other seven, I guess, important pieces to yoga itself?
Definitely. So, um, I need to refresh on the Sanskrit terms, but so yoga first and foremost is a lifestyle. It's
Right.
not a religion. The yoga instructor who gave me my 200-hour instructor certification, she is a very devout Christian, but she is so into the spiritual side. Do you know what I mean? Like you can definitely blend it together and you can pick and choose what you like from yoga. And so the first limb of yoga is called the yamas, which is basically the yamas and niyamas, they're two. And it's basically how you are. For example, like don't steal, don't lie, and stuff like that. It's like kind of like the command, but it really is the a way of life. And so in yoga, what's really fascinating is that they say like even don't steal like even p stealing people's time is something that's interpreted as stealing
Mm,
or let's say you buy I feel like I'm guilty of this with Costco, right? So you buy so many of one thing, you're
right.
stealing maybe from someone else who might need it and that you don't need it right now in this time. And so those are the first two limbs of yoga, like a lot of things about the way of life of being this kind of peaceful um, and just individual. And then you have the third, which are the asanas, which are the movements that are basically what everybody thinks yoga is. And then you
Right.
have four, which is the pranayama, which is the breath work, what we did. And then fifth is the pratyahara, which is basically the ability to kind of tune everything outside down so that we can focus inwards. And ironically, not ironically, it's like they kind of blend together from the fifth stage forward because you have, I forgot the Sanskrit term, but it's like, so the outside tune out, and then the sixth one is to tune in. And then the seventh one is to meditate, which is actually called Dhyana, which is like my name. And then the eighth one is Samdi, which is so beautiful. It's basically where you merge with. this is where it gets a little woo. So pick and choose what you like, I guess. But it's basically you blend in with the universe. Like you become that oneness because you're so outside, or you're actually more inside that you don't view the individualistic things anymore on a cellular level. You see
Right.
everything as one. It's like that singularity or almost. So that yoga is a lifestyle. I guess you choose pick and choose. Like if you like up to step five or the five limbs of yoga, that's fine. But there are the more fuller like eight limbs to go through that entire journey.
That's awesome. Just to know more about what yoga entails, because like you said, we only really hear, well, at least speaking for myself, you only really hear about the movement part, and I know the breath work part, but to know it's a lifestyle is a beautiful thing. And I guess my only other comment was the 6 breaths a minute can increase heart rate virality or variability. So does that
Variability.
does that mean your take, like if you're counting a minute, just 6 breaths within that minute is kind of slowing your heart rate down, or it's like making it for healthier breathing, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so I have to look up what exactly heart rate variability is, but variability is it strengthens your heart actually. So the higher it is, the stronger your heart. And I know the lower the heart rate variability is, the weaker your heart. And
Right.
so when you take in that breath, that full inhale, full exhale, you repeat it 6 times. If it lasts 1 minute, then it increases that strength in your heart. And so people have done it longer, like 6 breaths in 2 minutes. It's
Oh
wild
wow.
once you practice, and I can't even do that. And I've been practicing for a long time, but once you practice daily and really equip it into your tool set, it really can do wonders in not just calming your system and self-soothing. It actually helps alleviate a lot of issues you might be having in your body. And I know that for a fact, I don't have the exact study to reference it, but that yoga and breath work does increase the telomere of your DNA. So that's like the length of life that you live or something. So you live longer.
Mm, that's
Yeah.
awesome. That's
Yeah, it's
awesome.
really cool.
Um, Ms. Drakes, do you have anything? Oh, okay, she's unfroze. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Diana. This was very helpful. And ending the year off with something like this is very helpful, especially when we go into like the summer. There's a lot of people have plans, vacations, stressful things that could be happening. So
Mhm.
please make sure you tune into this, and it will help. I think the information was great. So thank you very much, and we appreciate you.
Thank you.